And as a point she has said, kanilambisha utamu. Muno kaachwa basi, kweli kunalambisha utamu. It's 10 minutes for 7 p.m. and my name is Etienne. Good evening. This is the 6 to 9 show that airs every Monday to Friday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Baze Radio. Now, you can get to listen to me via bazeradio.co.ke or bazeonlineradio.co.ke. Ama kama uko na the Safaricom app, girl, kababa, the better. Now, in the studio with us today, we have a counseling psychologist who also manages programs at Mental 360. His name is Ochieng Fred. Oimori?
I
had to say that. Just tell us about you. Who's Ochieng Fred, aside from, being a counseling psychologist and also a person who manages programs at Mental 360?
Well, Ochieng is a friend, a brother, and a very simple man. Very, very simple.
Okay.
But one who's also an overthinker, and for some reasons I've been told that I can be complex and very analytical. It all just depends who's asking. Yeah.
You're complex and you overthink.
Yeah.
Two peas in a pod. Imagine same. Same, literally. Talk to us about Mental 360. What is it as a general?
Mental 360 is a social enterprise, and it was started by our founder, Bright Shitemi. He's someone who had lived experience way back through high school, and he had some classmates who went through a lot of mental health challenges, and for that reason he thought about starting this organization. So it started not as an organization per se, but as something that he used to do, having people come together, talk about mental health issues, and then guiding people through yoga exercises. And then with the time it metamorphosized to become a social enterprise, whereby it has the business side of it, where we do offer one-on-one therapy, and we also do have a package for corporates where we do wellness audits, training, depending on what they're actually asking. And there's the NGO side where we do serve communities through different programs. Yep.
So speaking about therapy, I'm a youth myself, and I'm a babe as well, a woman, right?
Okay.
You're gonna keep that aside, Kesiake, because November is Men's Mental Health Month.
Yeah.
And yesterday we had Men's Mental Health Day.
Yeah.
Right? Now, when I asked you who you are, you mentioned that you're a friend and all of these things, and you're a simple man. You never mentioned that you're somebody's man. So there's nothing you received yesterday.
Well, yeah. Sadly, quite unfortunate.
So I want to know about you being a counseling psychologist. Is it primarily focused on men?
Yeah.
This November we are celebrating men's mental health, or is it every gender?
For me, I do love a holistic approach. The reason as to why we have a lot of problems is whereby we like, segregating things that are not meant to be segregated. Men are sons, they are brothers, they are fathers, they are uncles, they are mpango wakandos to other people.
Why?
So they are friends to people. And for me, it's very, very important not just consider it to be men, because they do have people revolving around their lives.
Okay.
So yes, the theme should be targeting men, but also the people in their lives.
So everybody in general.
Everybody in general.
So what inspired you to join Mental 360, and how has your role evolved as a programs officer?
One was just Bright Shitemi. We met in the most, funniest ways. I was looking for a job. I got tired of it. So I was just living life, with a small spoon. And then we met in a particular forum, and then coincidentally, we were paired into two groups, and our groups came together, and we had different roles to present. Then when he saw what I did during presentation is whereby he reached out, told me about Mental 360 and asked me if I'd be interested, because there was a project that they were about to start called the Nakujali Project. It's all about suicide prevention for young people living in Kiambu. So I, with the time, reached out to him. He told me that if he'd be advertising for the position, I should actually apply. I applied, went there for the interview, and then voila, here I am.
Okay, coming back, I'd love for you to tell us, how do you tailor your programs to address the unique cultural and also societal challenges surrounding mental health in Kenya when we come back?
Okay.
Coming right up, we have Ecosystem by Crystal Asege, and it's exactly 15 minutes for 7 p.m. Once again, in the studio, we have a counseling psychologist by the name of Ochieng Fred, who's also a programs officer at Mental 360. It's exactly 2 minutes to 7 p.m. and my name is Atieno. Good evening to you. This is the 6 to 9 show that airs every Monday to Friday from 6 p.m. through to 9 p.m. Now, today we're doing it a little bit different. We have someone in the studio with us, so you're not going to get juicy, neither we're going to get saucy. We have Ochieng Fred, who once again is a counseling psychologist and also a programs officer at Mental 360. Now, before we went on that short musical break, I had asked him a question, which I'm going to repeat again if you've just tuned in. Karibu. So, how do you tailor your programs to address the unique cultural or societal challenges surrounding mental health in Kenya?
So for that, we do look at gender structured approaches. So for example, we do know that in our country we do have several cultures, and several cultures have different practices. So we have to look at particular areas and see, so what's their culture, what practices do they actually use, and then we work our way around it, not to demean the actual culture, but to talk about healthy ways to actually deal with men's mental health. For example, we do have gender structured approaches.
Okay.
Last year, way before I joined Mental 360, there was an approach for men called the Inside Man. So our lead, Bright Chitemi, was the one who was actually doing it, and it was for men. So he started it just as an easy thing, and we had a lot of men who actually turned up and they had actual conversations. And then apart from that, in our socials, we do a bit of psychoeducation. So creating reels, posters, which would actually give information for people to look through our social media at Mental 360. And the other ones is like today, I'm in studio talking about men's mental health.
Yes.
So using different approaches to actually just spread the word and engage people in different ways. And then again, for the upcoming event this Saturday, we will be there, and I and several of my office colleagues will actually talk about the importance of men's mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about this event, if you don't know what we are talking about, we're talking about the Average Joes that will be happening on the 23rd of November from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Ngamani Restaurant. So where is that located? In 2nd Gong Avenue, 316 Chambers. And the theme is the 3 M's. We have mateship, mentorship, and masculinity. That brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Talk to me about mateship.
Mateship. Well, sounds very British, but from the Australian perspective, it helps to bring about the spirit of friendship for the Australians. And from the discussion that I had with Amos, I told you that I only spoke to him over the phone. I'm looking forward to actually meeting him on Friday in preparation for the event on Saturday. He has an Australian friend who actually, during his struggles, shared this thing with him. And from it, we thought that it would be very important because and I'm not saying that I am religious, but even the Bible says that there will come a time when a brother will be more important, when a friend will be more important than a brother. So friendship is something that we've been missing, and we forget that we all need each other. And that's why I believe in each one, teach one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, because how I understood the mateship thing was like maybe like a man and a woman, like just biology definition, like meeting.
Yeah, languages differ from different areas.
Potato indeed.
Yeah.
Talk to me about masculinity. Is it the American masculinity where it tends to come off toxic when it comes to other audiences, or is it like the positive masculinity?
Well, I don't know about those other ones. The one that I do know about is the one that we're going to engage with, and this one is all just about the, characteristics, personalities, tendencies that has been assigned to be conducted mainly by men.
Okay.
Yeah.
So last but not least, the 3 M's, we have mentorship.
Yeah.
And I believe now that is where you mentor guys. So what are you mentoring them to do?
Well, so you're looking at a multifaceted approach. Now, the mentor, the person who's actually going to give guidance, this has to be someone who has experience or expertise in different spaces. And then the mentee, the one who's looking up to the mentor to actually get guidance.
Okay.
But for ours, it's going just to encourage and create a platform where people can have open and honest conversations. Because a lot of people do talk, but people don't speak. we ever heard about this thing? Or others say that I just hear you speaking, but I can't hear you talking to me. It all depends. So we're delving into real conversations, not small talks that, as you know, most people are very good when you see in social media. So it's more about speaking to the heart, whereby you get people saying that I normally don't talk about this thing, but so that is the thing that we're looking at, the conversations that we normally don't get to hear, the ones that people often just have in their heads and they don't share, and then, they get stuck because they don't get guidance from other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when we come back, I know that there are different counseling techniques, right?
Yeah.
I would love to know what is the most effective counseling technique when working with clients from Nairobi, and as I had mentioned, Brian Shitemi had something in Kiambu as well. What counseling techniques do you find most effective? You'll tell us that when we come back.
Okay.
So in the background, not in the background though, coming right up, we have Bembeleze by Willie Paul and featuring Nandi, and it's exactly 28 minutes till 7 p.m. As always, do keep it Baze Radio. That is Rain, K-Folks, and Steph Capella with the new Baba, and it's exactly 37 minutes till 7 p.m. My name is Atieno, and good evening to you, or rather, Jambo Jambo. This is the 69 show that airs only on Baze Radio from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, before we went for that musical break again, I just wanted to know, Ochieng, right? What counseling techniques do you find most effective when it comes to clients in Nairobi? Especially somebody like me who doesn't like opening up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a question that you should ask yourself. Why don't you like opening up? To answer your question, I don't find one that's very, very effective, but there's this one that has a blend of all the techniques. So it all depends with the client. At Mental 360, we do like to use a client-centered approach, believing that you might have a particular problem that is very similar to another person, but the treatment plan might not work for all of you because we all do have different personalities. And we might have the same personalities, but we do have 2, 3 more personalities, which are just, a little bit there. They don't manifest all the time, and they're very, very different. So we do like using a tailor-made approach. So is it cognitive behavioral therapy, whereby we do try to identify negative thought patterns and behavior? Can we use that approach to actually change that kind of behavior? Is it the humanistic kind of therapy where we have to look at this, to help you with self-awareness? Is it mindfulness therapy, whereby we're going to help you to be in the here and now? Because we do know, as I said, I'm an overthinker. Most people like being stuck in the past, saying that you people don't know, and particularly our parents, without mentioning names, used to be like, back in our days, I used to score all this and all that. And then because they're not having anything of that thing happening currently, they're stuck in it. And I need people to learn to live here and now instead of being actual zombies. Psychodynamic, to explore the unconscious thoughts, whereby you have certain behaviors and you don't understand why you do have them and where they came from, and things to do with childhood trauma, and helping you to navigate all those things and look for the most appropriate approach to actually deal with it.
But I believe psychology is just complex, right? It's just complicated.
Yeah.
Or I'm just overthinking it. As a journalist, maybe I thought my career is hard, but yours is more difficult.
I mean, life in general is complicated.
No, so my question is, you're a counseling psychologist and also a programs officer at Mental 360.
Yeah.
So how do you balance both responsibilities?
This boils down to the working culture at Metal 360 and the fact that we do have defined rules for each and every person there. So helping each other when it comes to that. So we do have counselors, and counselors also double up as in implementation officers.
Okay.
So we do have one project called the Nakujali Project. Nakujali Swahili word meaning that I do care.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, we do implement this in Kiambu County, and it's all about suicide prevention. And we do have peer mental health champions who are called Rafikis. And they are the ones whom we do guide through the suicide awareness prevention module. And this is not something that I can do all by myself.
Okay.
And we do know that suicide is something that's being very, very rampant in our country, particularly for young people. And now it seems like the dynamics are changing, and we can see elderly people are also dying by suicide. That's where I need the help of the counselors to actually come through.
Okay.
And to help out these young people and clients who actually come to seek help from our organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned like a couple of minutes ago that there tends to be clients who have like this more or less like the same personalities.
Yeah.
Right. So what trends or patterns have you observed
Yeah.
in the mental health challenges facing young people in Kenya?
Well, it all depends. I have been privileged to live in different parts of this country.
Okay.
I've stayed in Garissa, I've stayed in Nairobi, and Nairobi I've lived in the, posh places. I've lived in the ghettos, I serve in the ghettos, I've lived in Mombasa, and issues are quite diverse. But all of them stem just to one thing, they all bring about mental health issues.
Okay.
But currently, let me talk about how COVID actually messed a lot of people.
Yeah.
People are not used to being confined in one space. Human beings who are not built to be that way. So a lot of pent up anger, sitting down with your thoughts while other people don't like, having a seat and just thinking about their life or being by themselves. They're that just put loud music, blow off some steam by taking alcohol or weed, or just being stuck on your phone and going through memes, so that you don't have time to actually think about your life. And then the Gen Z protest. Not everyone was there to actually protest. Other people got a platform to go and air out all the pent-up anger and emotions that they don't know what to do with.
Cuss more.
Yeah.
So when we come back, I want to know what has been the most rewarding experience in your career as a counseling psychologist so far.
Okay.
Now, coming right up is Bomb Ni Bomb by Julian Drizzle, and it's exactly 42 minutes past 7 p.m. Please, as always, do keep it Baze Radio. It's 9 minutes to 8 p.m. And once again in the studio we have Ochieng Fred. My name is Atieno Stacy, and good evening to you. Or rather, how I usually say on TikTok, Jambo Jambo. This is the 69 show that airs only on Baze Radio from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Once again, we have a counseling psychologist and also a programs officer, Parliamental 360. Now, my question is just, what has been the most rewarding experience in your career as a counseling psychologist so far?
Several. But one that I often like is when we actually have real conversations. I get high on real conversations because we live in a world or country where most people, they have this facade. People wear masks and you don't see their true selves.
Okay.
And I think that's the thing that's making people to have a lot of identity crisis. People forgetting what their roles are, people doing things. But when I engage with people, but I am a facilitator or a moderator, I get high on such things because I'm really good at doing that. And when I see people in their element, it keeps on reminding me the beauty of vulnerability. It's very scary because you often feel like people would actually take advantage, but it helps you to salvage a lot and to understand that despite life being very, very difficult and hard and complex, we should cherish the small, simple moments. Life is already hard. Why are we making it harder? Yet we can simplify it.
Exactly. And if there's one thing my dad always tells me is life is not complicated. We make it complicated.
Definitely.
For ourselves. So as we wind up, it has been really, really amazing having you in the studio. And I was even telling my friend because he's listening. You are a very calm person and you've enjoyed the interview 100% ever since I've been a radio presenter. Every interview in Kwanga tu hapa. Walifanya nini, who slept with who, but this has been really, really calming. So as we wind up, what advice would you give me? Guy, I'm waiting. Oi. Nimalize, ushanimaliza, but nimalize kabisa.
Well, because it's International Men's Health, I'll tell you that try, because I know it's very difficult for most people to accept help, but try and be supportive of the men in your life, your brothers, your boyfriend, your dad, your uncles, your friends, your work colleagues, and create an environment where they can actually just speak up without judgment. You don't even need to say anything. All you have to do is just listen and tell them that they do matter. And then apart from that, I know that this is very scary for you, but try and seek help. You really don't need to go and talk about your issues, so to speak. But a therapist can actually just help you to mirror yourself so that you can understand, Atieno better. Yeah.
Hey, okay. I wish I was a man so that I can attend this Average Joe's event that is happening on the 23rd of November. You will be attending.
Definitely.
So this is the last question.
Okay.
as a man, maybe there's a guy who's listening, right? My guy is actually listening to this.
Okay.
So what can he expect on this particular event apart from the 3 M's: mentorship, masculinity, and mateship?
Well, he should expect a platform that encourages open conversations.
Okay.
At Mental 360, we do have the slogan that conversations saves lives. Simple as that.
Okay.
Conversation saves lives, but it's difficult for people to converse. People like a lot of small talk.
Yeah.
The second thing is because it's going to be a platform where we'll have men from all over Nairobi and other parts. It's going to create networking opportunities for people. So, you meet people and you talk to them, you get to find that they do different things. You never know. Maybe there's just something in it from the person that you actually meet that might help to, redefine your life for the better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And lastly, they're going to find purpose as you get to exchange with each other. Then one will choose to either change, and change will come.
Okay.
You cannot meet people and talk to them and then something doesn't change to you emotionally or psychologically. But transformation is the key thing. That one has to be a choice, and transformation is seen in the way that you'll actually behave.
So if you need any therapy services, where can they get you from?
Well, our office is located in Langata Jambo Estate. And if anyone has difficulty locating us, our number is very simple. 0710 360 360. 0710
360 360.
That's it.
Social media?
Mental 360. If you just put IG, Facebook, LinkedIn profile at Mental 360, we're there. You'll definitely find us. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, Ochieng Fred, for coming and gracing us with your expertise and just telling us the truth about ourselves, although we don't like it. My producer ameshanga. Maybe nimegutuka, but thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I hope people can get your services, I included.
Yeah.
I'll definitely hit you up on 0710 360 360.
That's what's up.
And as we wind up, I'm just here to remind you, if you're a guy listening to this, this Saturday, 23rd of November, 2024, from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Ngamani Restaurant, that is located in Second Gong Avenue, 316 Chambers. We'll be having the average dose. Now, if you don't know what that is, November is a month that is literally scheduled for men's mental health. And yesterday, the 19th of November, we were having the Men's Mental Health Day. So we'll be having the average dose, and it will be focusing on 3 things, the 3 M's, that is masculinity, mentorship, and mateship. If you need more information about this particular event, 0750-048-153 is the number you need to call. Once again, 0750-048-153 is the number you need to call. Coming right up is a song by VB, Vijana Barabaru, If Wishes Were Horses. And trust you me, if wishes were horses, I will never be this toxic.
This is Baze Radio.
We are 254 to the core.